Hello everybody, Diana here. This segment I want to cover exercise. Now before you click out, let me just say I'm not a huge proponent in spending all kinds of time, energy, and effort into exercise. In fact, I definitely am the laziest person I know. What it is that specifically about exercise that I want to cover, does it help with weight loss or not? Because wow, there was a study that came out that really just kind of shook the whole weight loss industry, the fitness industry. So what's the answer to that? Does it help? Does it not help? And what did they find in this study? Now, I'm going to tell you, like always, go to PubMed. You'll find the study there. This study was a compilation of a bunch of other studies done. They compared. What they did is they took a bunch of studies for weight loss via dieting alone, and then they took a bunch of studies for weight loss via dieting and exercise. And the results that they came up with was very surprising. They really didn't make much of a difference at all. In fact, if I remember correctly when I read it, it was a difference of about 4 pounds over the course of an entire year. If exercise is only going to make a difference of 4 pounds for me over the course of a year, I'm just not even going to bother. But before we just decide to not bother, why don't we take a look at this and break it down and discover how and why it was that they came up with this result, and is exercise really good for weight loss or not? Because we don't want to spend our time doing something that's not going to help us get to our end goal, or that's going to take an awful lot of time and effort and do very little. So, does this mean that this is going to work out the same for everybody? No, absolutely not. Remember, our bodies are all built differently. The studies that were used that had the diet and exercise done together, what kind of exercise were we looking at there? How long and how often? So it was definitely intense type exercise, and it was added in 5, 6, or 7 days a week. And I believe that this is the reason why we didn't see much in the way of extra results through exercise. So it's important to know what happens with our metabolic rate and how exercising affects that. So the first thing to know is the biggest majority of the calories that you burn comes from what's referred to as resting metabolic rate. In other words, these are the calories that you spend every day just being alive. Your heart pumping, breathing, your kidneys functioning, your liver, your muscles, everything. And that's when you don't do absolutely anything all day long. So this is where the majority of our calories are spent, is during the resting time. So when we're looking at some sort of an exercise program to help with weight loss, then we want an exercise program that's going to increase our resting metabolic rate, because that's the biggest. That's going to have the biggest effect. Now, second to that is how many calories you burn during daily activity. So your regular daily activity. Now, this is where you're actually moving your body. You get up and wash dishes, make dinner, you go to work, sweep, mop, chase after the kids, whatever it is that you're doing that's moving your body. And this is your daily activity. And that accounts for a small portion of the calories that you burn. And the smallest portion of the calories that you burn is when you do this extra exercise. It'll have you burning calories at the time that what you're doing this extra exercise, and for a short while afterwards. What ends up happening when we begin an intense exercise program and we do it every day or nearly every day, your body will, within a short span of time, your body will adjust to that daily exercise, and it will count that in as regular daily activity. So what ends up happening when you begin exercising every day, your body adjusts, and it no longer counts this as extra exercise. It now counts this as daily activity. So what your body is going to do is it's going to borrow from this to add to that in order to give you the energy to do, your daily activity and everything that actually will slow down your resting metabolic rate. So that's what ends up happening. So how do we incorporate and include exercise, an exercise regimen that's going to actually help us and propel us in our weight loss efforts? And the way to do that is to keep your body from reading that it's daily activity. And we keep our body from reading that this exercise is daily activity by not doing it every day. So the best way would be to add it in 2 or 3 times a week. And don't do it more than 3 times a week. If you're talking about, doing any sort of intense exercise to help with your weight loss, 2 to 3 times a week. And that's it. So can exercise really help propel you to your goal for weight loss? Yes, it can. But not if you do it every day. And for me and others like me, that's really good news. You can build your body's muscles, build up your healthy tissues, and increase your metabolic rate, increase the calories that you burn through just exercising 2 or 3 times a week. It really can be done. I want to say probably optimally might be about maybe every 48 hours. So if you're doing it right, the high impact interval training, this is the right kind of exercise. So when you're doing it right, what ends up happening is it will end up increasing your resting metabolism for a period of up to 48 hours, but a minimum of about 24 hours. So this is wonderful. But again, if we're doing it every day, our body is going to adjust its metabolic rate to count it as daily activity. And so you won't be burning any extra calories and you won't be increasing your metabolic rate. We want to increase our metabolic rate. So 2 or 3 times a week, like I said, I want to say maybe like every 48 hours would probably be the best if you can keep on a schedule like that. If you run a search for HIIT on YouTube, you will find a lot. There are a lot of trainers. So watch the various different ones and you're going to be able to click with somebody. Subscribe to that channel and work out with them. So that's it. That's simple. Again, I'm not going to say don't exercise every day because it depends on what it is that you're targeting. If you are looking to build and tone and sculpt your muscles, then you're going to want to do intense training on a daily basis. But if you're simply looking to lose weight and make a healthier body, 2 to 3 times a week, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or something like that. But you want to keep your body from registering that extra as regular daily activity. You want it to register as extra, and you want it to increase your metabolic rate during your resting time. To me, that particular research didn't prove that exercise doesn't work to help with weight loss. All it proved to me was that exercising 5, 6, and 7 days a week is what doesn't help. But exercising does help. There are a number of hormones in your body that if they're off whack, that one of the ways to get that to balance properly in your body and to get them to work properly again and stop storing body fat is to exercise. And most of them 2 to 3 times a week. Interval type training. So I hope you got something out of this. And if you have any questions, put it in the comments below. I love questions. I'll be so happy to answer. And if you found this useful or even strange, click share. Share it with anybody. Share it with everybody. Let's get the truth out there. And make sure you click subscribe. Don't forget to click subscribe so you can continue to get more updates on accurate information that's actually going to get you to where you want to be and to do it in such a simple way. So, until next time, see you then.